And I saw that, I was like, I'm going to Soul Train. And I actually won an award, and I felt like, skies was the limit for me.
Hey everybody, Samantha Chatman with Mama, I Made It. My next guest really doesn't need an introduction. Cash Money Records taking over for the 99s and 2000s. We have Juvenile here. We had to get you right and get you started in Chicago. How you feeling today?
Oh, it's good. Weather is good outside. It's real festive. A lot of people moving around. I've been watching the boats go backwards and forward on the tours, and it's just been a great day for me.
From taking the stage in Chicago for the Forever Mind tour. How does it feel to be back in Chicago, and are you ready to perform today?
Oh man, it's a wonderful feeling. Last time I was in Chicago outside an event in Inglewood.
Let me hear you say water! Say water!
It was a great day, so I don't see this being no different. The vibe was so great at the sound check. The people there got great energy. You could just feel it in the air, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be something epic tonight.
I want to talk about one of your most, I won't say your most famous song, but that's the song that I think that connects everybody. Did you know that That Azz Up was going to be able to be such a crossover record when you were making it?
Nah, when you're making those songs like that, you really don't know where they're going to take you. We have all these hopes and hopes. I hope they like it. Pretty much, that was my thing. I hope the people really like it. But, being around this long, these many years, and seeing kids, youngsters sing it, is one of those things that I just look at as being a rarity, and it's a blessing.
That Azz Up is performed at weddings.
Yeah.
We AKAs, we stroll to it, bar mitzvahs. People play it everywhere. When you hear it 25 plus years later, when you hear it, does it still give you that energy that you had when you were making it?
It actually does, but it's the people that give me that energy, the reactions, the way they act. It's very seldom when I'm singing that song, you see an audience full of people with their hands up. It's kind of hard to bend over and put your hand up at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different vibe, and I don't think it's going nowhere. I don't see no difference in it, even right now today.
I read or I saw an interview. We were talking about the intro that everybody loves, Cash Money Records taking over. That was a radio edit. And sometimes you forget to perform that part and people get disappointed.
Yeah, because people got to remember that's something that was only done for the radio. I never performed that. I see it. I try to remember to say it sometime and give people that treat, but it's just something that's not stuck in my head, truthfully.
And when you don't do it, do people say, hey, man, like, that's my part? What do they say to you when you don't do it?
I make up for it at the end of the song when I sing Wayne part. Okay. Drive it like it's hot.
I want to go back to New Orleans, your hometown, and where it all began. This is where it all began for you. Tell me about your upbringing, how all this started. Let's start with where you're from specifically in New Orleans and your upbringing as a child.
Well, I'm from the housing development, the Magnolia Housing Development, and it was interesting. Something that I pretty much feel like my life went the way to get me to where I'm at. No different than another kid and living in poverty. We went through things like getting fights in school. Steal bikes and stuff like that. Just stuff that, regular kids in the city did, and I wasn't no different. And it's one of those things that stuck with me throughout life because it always tells me no matter where I'm at, it keeps me grounded, and it always tells me don't forget about where you come from.
What do you think makes New Orleans, growing up in New Orleans, different from anywhere else?
Our culture, the way we talk, the food, we just totally different. We have second line music. We are a real 24-hour city. You can walk out the bars with the alcohol. You can
cheers.
Yeah. you can go to a drive-through on a Sunday, 3:00 in the morning, and buy a drink. And so New Orleans is so different than everywhere else, but it's one of them things that you can't rewrite it. It's always going to be the way it is.
So the show is called Mama, I Made It. I read that you're close with your grandparents and also your mother. Can you tell me more about your relationship with your mother, your grandparents, maybe your grandmother?
Well, yeah. Well, that's a great thing because, everybody know me and my mother for traveling the world. She passed a couple years ago, and her name was Mama Bling Bling. And the reason being because she wore a lot of jewelry and she was fascinated with diamonds and stuff like that, and she loved to have a good time. So that's where that comes from, and the funny side of me definitely comes from her, because my mom was pretty much a comedian. She let everybody have it. She had a joke about every situation. It could be a bad situation. She would say something to make everybody laugh and forget about what's going on. It's just a wonderful thing. And my grandmother, which is what a lot of people don't know, was kind of like, like part of history, part of my history, part of New Orleans history for us, because a lot of people from New Orleans came from Baton Rouge and lived on plantations and stuff like that. Well, my grandmother was one of those kids, and she taught me a lot about, what black people went through down in the South, because it wasn't a beautiful thing at all, at all times. But I wish they could see me right now.
What did they teach you about being a man and eventually being an artist?
Well, my grandmother taught me how to cook. She said, you don't need no woman to be cooking for you. You're going to learn how to cook for yourself. So she taught me how to cook. And my mama pretty much, she didn't really want me in the music because she thought I was going to be a bookworm. But she taught me as long as it's your dream, go chase your dream. And it's I wish she was here to see me. That's all I can say.
I know she's proud of you.
Yeah.
When was your mama I made it moment? Because I'm sure that, a lot of people had these moments where it's like, okay, this is it. This is when I know I've made it. But when was your mama I made it moment? Like, mama, I think we got something here. I think we gonna make it out.
When they invited me to the Soul Train Music Awards, believe it or not, I just kept looking at that invite and showing it to my mom. It had the gold sticker on it. And, I remember watching Soul Train as a kid my entire life. And it's probably not a big deal to a lot of kids today, but to us, it meant the world. And I saw that, I was like, my God, I'm going to Soul Train. And I actually won an award, and I felt like, skies was the limit for me. And my mama got the great part about it. She was there with me, so she got a chance to experience everything.
How did you get into music? Because you said your mom thought you were going to be a bookworm. So were you really deep into the books?
I was.
Oh.
I was a science head. I love science. I like to do things with my hands. Real deep into doing electronics, building things, making furniture and stuff like that. And she thought I was just gonna go in that route, like
college.
Yeah, she thought I was going that route, but I didn't. But she didn't realize her love for music had spilled over to me. My mom had records. We had 8 tracks and records. We had 12 inches in the full albums, and she had loads and loads of it, and that spilled over into me musically. It was this guy from the Furious Five. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, his name was Melly Mel, and he made a song. He said, "Don't push me, cause I'm
close to the
edge. I'm trying not to lose my head."
That did it for Jude. That did it for Jude.
Yeah.
That triggered everything for me. And then everybody who came out after that, it wasn't too many rappers we had back then, so we pretty much cherished whoever came out.
Okay.
So I support every artist from day one.
How were you discovered?
In the club, the old guy let me get on the microphone in the club, and he let me do my thing one time, and everybody heard me. I put a little tape out and sold tapes on the streets. Pretty much put the awareness out myself. The rest was history.
Being a part of such an iconic group that you are a part of, when you look back at everything that you've done, all of the history, all of the memories, can you believe that you all accomplished so much together?
I can't believe it. Then seeing the little bro take it to a whole nother level, seeing Lil Wayne start off and bring other artists into the game, right? The whole Young Money label into the game, seeing that growth, kind of like what Def Jam did with their label. And then right now, I'm still, the crazy part is that I'm still affiliated with Cash Money. So I'm still trying to see growth in the label now. So hopefully we find a new artist or somebody to continue the legacy.
The culture was so excited seeing you all in Verzuz. How did that come about? Did you automatically think that this was something that you all would be a part of? Did you all talk about it? obviously you had long conversations
Yeah.
about it, but was it, did you instantly say this is something we're going to do, or did you all have hesitation at first?
I did. And I had hesitation the day of the show because when I found out Wayne wasn't going to be in it, I didn't want to do it because Wayne was the one who convinced us to actually do the show. But things changed as time went on. I don't want to dig into that, but I really wish he would have did it. But it was one of them things that I felt like we shot it at a time where we should have shot it in New Orleans. Not to take anything away from Las Vegas, but I really think it would have had a bigger impact in New Orleans. But being on stage with No Limit, the guys at No Limit, guys that I grew up with, went to school with, it was just a great experience. It was.
Not getting too much in the Wayne situation, but how disappointed were you that night when you found out? Because I heard you found out.
Yeah. Right
was
before
it
I
that?
went
Yeah.
on stage, Swiss Beats talked me into actually doing it, to be honest. I was about to walk away. When I found out, it was a shocker, just like everybody else. I'm a fan of Wayne. I always, in every interview, most of the time, I always say Wayne is the greatest rapper of all time because I feel that way in my heart. So yeah, I was hurt, but he's still my dude.
You said it should have been in New Orleans. So does that mean you all will do a Verzuz part 2? What are you all going to do?
You saw how I set that up, right?
Some people from New Orleans, I was reading, they felt slighted.
Yeah.
They felt slighted that it was in
But
Las
all
Vegas.
the verses, most of them is done.
True, but they were like, this one needed to be in New Orleans for the city to put on.
But the setup is the Cash Money No Limit tour is coming out in the fall. So
all right, is that breaking news?
Breaking news.
All right.
So, everybody get to see it in their city.
We got the exclusive. What are you most looking forward to about that?
I'm really not putting my, making these big goals. I just hope it be successful. I want it to be successful, and I want people to come out and have a good time. Because I know I can perform, and I know these other cats, they ready to show the world what they can do. So we're gonna go at it.
It's gonna be iconic.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Tiny Desk because that was one that we did not see coming.
You ready? Keep the party going. Let's go, man.
Greatest love song. Greatest love song ever wrote.
Hey, come on. Look, y'all ready? Girl, you're working with some man shit. Your bad jam make a nigga spend his cash. His last shit. Hoes found when you're bad shit. They mad jag. You can ride in the jag. With that jag.
Did you see that coming? Did you know what Tiny Desk was? No shade, but it's like, that's kind of a niche audience.
I did.
So you didn't.
Nah.
So how did that come about? Because everybody, for many people, that was their favorite Tiny Desk of all time. Some people had never even really heard of Tiny Desk until they saw you. So how did that come about?
Twice a kid, kind of like me being a kid again and listening to my daughter, but really getting checked by my daughter, like telling me like, nah, Dad, you can't, you got to take that down. I said, what the F is a Tiny Desk? And they went crazy on me. She said, you got to take that down. And she said, now you got to do Tiny Desk. So, my whole thing was, I don't even know what it is. And then I started getting educated on it. I said, okay, 10,000 retweets, I do it. Not knowing that I had to do it. And not knowing that, it was one of those things where I had to pay. I thought Tiny Desk pay you to come there. We had to pay them. Well, not pay them, but we had to pay for the flights and stuff like that. And it wound up being one of the greatest decisions in my life, truthfully.
Everybody I know that is into Tiny Desk, they say that was their favorite one. They loved the instruments. They loved everything about it, the collaborations. They just said it was raw. And one thing, of course, we love about you is that you're not into rapping over a track. You are.
I'm not.
Too many artists, no shade, or it's the lip syncing. And I know when it comes to the dancing, there's a lot to that.
Yeah.
But you still respect the art of live music and performing live. Why is that still so important to you? Because there's some rappers who, they
just won't do it. They just don't do it. I know a lot of cats from my era. A lot of cats just don't want to do it that way. For me, I feel like my voice is so unique and so raw. When the vocals are playing and I rap over it, sound like 12 people rapping because I sound like 2 people already. So when you put, it sounds weird. And then I listen to the music through my headphones, and it sounds even worse in the headphones while I'm on stage. So I just I just think it's not comfortable for me. But to each his own. Some cats get up there and they cut. I seen cats tear down rapping over their vocals. I mean,
It's just not
I've
for
seen
you.
it, but it's not for me.
Can we talk love life really quick? Because your queen is here in the room.
The boss.
Yeah, the boss lady. When did you all meet? You all have been married for, correct me if I'm wrong, over 20 years?
Yeah.
Over 20 years. When did you all meet and how did you know that she was the one?
Well, we met in the shopping center, and I was actually buying a Rolex for my mother,
What city?
New Orleans.
Okay.
And she's not from New Orleans, so I had 1,000 questions for the guy in the store, asking him, what's she buying? Where's she from? And, he could only answer a couple questions. Then I kind of like, it's my mall, it's in New Orleans, so I kind of like watched her and tracked her down a little bit and watched her moves and made sure she bumped into me and put that smile on her.
Oh, she's blushing. Oh, she is blushing.
Put that smile on her, and
You both are blushing. Oh my gosh.
and we still together.
So what is the secret for anybody out there who's looking to get married, who's dating? What's the secret to keeping you all locked in? Because you all are still looking at each other blushing. What is the secret?
It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. And everything that you do, you always have to think like about your better half. Everything. Every move you make, you always include your better half. And that's what she is.
As a rapper with a lot of fans and a lot that comes with that, how did you make sure to stay grounded and stay locked in and make sure that home was taken care of always and prioritized?
Well, unlike a lot of artists, my wife is with me all the time. My wife is pretty much the manager. So she's with me all the time. So most of my experiences that I have out there, she's with me. My sons is with me. My daughters, I always keep them with me. And I think that really helps, just keeping everything family orientated. We got this big thing about doing things on holidays and birthdays and keeping it within our circle, and it works out.
There's some men who don't necessarily see the value in marriage these days, and women too, not just men, women too. Do you think that it's important that you all continue to display that Black love and show that marriage is something that can be fruitful and something that, when done right, can be a really beautiful thing?
You know what? We don't wake up trying to prove nothing. We just live our lives. Because I feel like when you're trying to be that symbol of what perfection is, and you make a mistake or anything happens out there, they attack you, they tear you down. So we don't put ourselves in those positions. We just go out there and enjoy our life and love each other. And I think it always works out the right way when you do things like that.
Talk to me about being a father. I know that you're a committed dad. We see and we hear about stories of you being such an involved parent, but you're also very busy. So how do you balance that?
They always with me. My daughter runs my social media. My other daughter pays all my bills and feeds me when I'm home. Let me add that, make sure her dad eats all the time when I'm home. And my son is out there right now. He's on stage with me everywhere I go, my oldest son. My youngest son is a school teacher. He's getting ready to come out here on the road with me. But I got 2 school teachers, and they running the show for me right now. I'm pretty much, like I said, second, 2 times a kid. It's really starting to happen for me right now. My kids are pretty much my parents.
And you say your son dressed you today for the concert, so they're your stylists?
I mean, even if I don't want to, he'll bully me, say, man, put this on. Yeah, so this jacket was made by one of his close friends, and he said, Pops, put this on. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, but he really does dress me.
Your son, he's an artist. What is it like being an artist and seeing your son perform and do similar things to you? Like, how is that for you?
It's kind of like a chip off the old block. It's one of those things that's very hard to explain, but I get a real kick out of him having fun and enjoying himself. Because, like I said, he don't have no kids, right? So, I like seeing him do things that makes him happy. And doing music, whatever he would have did would have made me happy. But if it makes him happy, I love it.
What is some advice you would give your son that you wish you had when you were starting out as an artist?
Own everything, which he does, but own everything.
Why that advice?
It's the best way. Nobody can pay you better than you can pay yourself. It's rule number one.
And how have you been able to establish yourself as a businessman? Because I know that that's important to you, being a businessman.
I have like several different businesses under my portfolio when it comes from cognac to potato chips. To I'm just a businessman, and I'm always looking for other avenues to make money. That's who I am.
How do you, and I'm guessing your kids play a role into this, but how do you make sure that you stay relevant, you stay on point, especially in this streaming world and social media where everything is moving so fast? You are still incredibly relevant. How do you do that?
I surrounded myself, just like I said, with my kids, and I got this great guy right here, and he goes by the name of Yoshi. He don't like cameras, and he don't like people to put him on the spot, but since I got him around, him and my daughter, they've been blowing my social media stuff up.
Do you like social media? Do you like getting on social?
I'm committed now. At first, I didn't know what the hell was going on. To be honest with you, I didn't know what was going on, but now I'm committed.
You're committed to
Yeah.
it. When we talk about your group, Cash Money, obviously there have been, over the years, friction and things like that. How do you make sure that, I won't say stay neutral, but it seems like you remain positive regardless of the headlines or the beef or anything that happens? How do you make sure? Because I'm sure you have your opinions about things. You don't necessarily like certain things that are going on. How do you make sure that you remain neutral so that you can uplift your group?
I stay with a positive energy. I try to like reflect that and smear that over everybody. And when they start talking negative, or if there's something negative going on, it just bounce right off me. Because I don't believe in negative energy.
What do you see for yourself in the next 10 years or so? Because you're still very much relevant, on top of your game. What would you like to see in the next 10 years?
Musically, I'm always going to make music, whether I put it out or not. That's just who I am. But 10 years from now, well, a couple of years from now, I want to be a damn grandfather. Getting tired of these kids. I want to hit a pitter-patter of little feet. That's what I want.
All right. Well, your kids, they're hearing
They know
you.
I tell it to them.
You tell them all the time. That's what you really want. You ready for that?
They know.
You ready to be a grandfather? Are you seeing your friends be grandfathers? Is that what it is?
I hate it. I hate it.
You ready? You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Okay.
But it's coming.
When you come to Chicago, how's the energy for you? What does the city mean to you?
Well, I never forget the win. I will never forget the win. And I've been places down here and I've made mistakes of turning my hats the wrong way, and my guys always turn my hat the right way. But I like to shop. I like Michigan Ave. I'm going to keep it 100. When I come down here, most of the time I go shopping. It's the first time I didn't because we have a show that's so early. But normally I would be on Michigan Ave shopping.
You like the food?
I don't really, you know what's crazy? I haven't really went out to a spot in particular or a popular spot here to eat. Most of the time I come here, I eat fast food.
Because you know there's a debate about who has the best food in the country.
But you know historically what the rules are when you come here, right?
What's that?
Down south, we say, let's go to McDonald's. McDonald's here is totally different from everywhere else.
In Chicago?
I don't know if y'all know that. Yeah.
I don't think that we knew that. Our McDonald's is better than, or better or...
It ain't even close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to appreciate our McDonald's more.
Like we appreciate our Popeyes.
That's right, yeah. Because you all's Popeyes is very
that's
different.
Right.
What is Juvenile like when he's not on stage? I know you want grandkids. We know you waiting on that. But what do you like to do at home?
I smoke.
Okay.
I smoke my reefer and I sit there and I watch sports. I'm a sports head. That's pretty much it. I'm boring.
Boring. That's probably hard for people to believe because when you get on stage, you turn it up so much.
Thank you.
That's great. And then just final thoughts when we think about all of your classics. What do you want to tell the fans out there who have been locked in with you for over 20 years now?
Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for the love y'all given me for 25 plus years. And hey, next chapter of my life, who knows what I'll be doing, but I'm going to make sure y'all involved.
Are you going to make a classic that's bigger than That Azz Up? Do you think that's possible?
I don't think like that.
No, you don't.
We don't think like that.
You don't
we just make music.
Not numbers, just impact.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. Well, Juvie, thank you so much. Juvie the Great. Cheers.
What's up, y'all? This your boy, Juvie the Great. And I'm right here on Mama I Made It with Samantha Chatman.
Thanks for watching this episode of Mama I Made It. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, Mama, I made it.
Baby, go ahead, ride it. On a trip, you a good co-pilot. Seems like we're a little misguided.